Good morning. I'm Timothy Morris, and along with my colleagues from the School of Architecture, Irene Preciado, Emily Ashby, and Luke Gates, have been working with Initiative reCOVER, and we'll be representing their work. So Initiative reCOVER was asked to design a ceramic water filter factory and a community center for the Mukindeni Pottery Cooperative, which we just heard a lot about, in Limpopo, South Africa. Limpopo is the northernmost province in South Africa, and you can see it highlighted in light gray on the top right of the map there. And the Mukindeni Pottery Cooperative is located right in the heart of Limpopo. Here we have a closer map of the region that our site is located. In the top right is the small town of Hamashamba, and just to the west is the small village of Mukindeni. Our site is just outside the border of Mukindeni. So this is the road that takes us to Hamashamba and Mukindeni that we took many times while over in South Africa. You can see it's a pretty rural region and pretty arid as well. However, there are lots of cultural and natural resources which make our project both relevant and viable. And this is a current view of the site, fairly close to what it should look like now, the existing conditions there. And then this is a view of the entry of the site with our proposal planted in there. So we've been working here, like I mentioned, with Pure Madi in collaboration under the umbrella of WIL, the Water, Health, and Limpopo project, which aims to bring clean water to rural regions of Limpopo, South Africa. The South African Constitution actually guarantees every citizen the right to ample, clean drinking water. There's a certain amount every day that is guaranteed in their Constitution. However, it's not necessarily possible in these areas that lack the infrastructure. So as a team of designers, we're hoping to use architecture and landscape architecture to approach these challenges and bring clean water to the people in the region. So when you look at our design, keep in mind that while it is a proposal that is very detailed and almost ready for implementation, it's also can be looked at as the beginning of a movement toward sustainable clean water in South Africa.
All right, so here is what is existing on the site. We have the existing building that the pottery is produced in and the existing factory building, as well as two rendezvous, which are the traditional form of architecture in the region, and the existing clay deposit at the southern end of the site. The clay is currently brought up on the road from the deposit and processed in the factory. And this is our design proposal. As you can see, it includes 3 new buildings, an additional rendezvous, extensive landscaping, and outdoor terraces, as well as a larger scheme for the entire site. Okay, so each part of our design plays a really crucial role in the overall sustainability of the project. First of all, the ceramic water filter factory plays an important role in the economic sustainability for the region and for the 45 potters who are working there. Additionally, it plays a big role in the clean water movement, and it becomes a viable, replicable prototype across South Africa. The community center and adjoining outdoor amphitheater space, it serves as an open door for the community, and so it kind of brings people in and it facilitates a learning exchange between the potters who are working there, the nearby community, and the university students from the University of Venda. It allows the potters to teach about what they know about their traditional craft, as well as what they've learned about water health through this program. We found it equally important to include a pottery studio that's dedicated to the preservation of the unique pottery of the region. This space isn't for the production of filters. This space is just for the preservation of the craft. We felt that it was important to make a distinction between the two so that the women didn't feel like we were coming in and taking away what they already had there and only replacing it with filters. So it's a distinction of spaces, but it's united by these work terraces on the exterior because we found that it's very common to work outside in some parts of the year. It's really nice sometimes, so that makes sense. And then Luke will give a more detailed explanation of these buildings.
Yes, so I will be introducing the first 2 buildings that you will encounter in our proposal. The community center, we envision its purpose as being to include the neighboring villages of Mukindeni and Hamashamba in the creation of these water filters and to provide access to cultural and educational opportunities that they might not have otherwise if this building wasn't here. So here's a view of the building. As you can see, there are 2 classrooms and a central gallery. The classrooms we envision being flexible spaces where the women can teach University of Venda students traditional pottery craft, as well as spaces to learn about water health and potentially an outpost for the University of Venda in this area. The central gallery serves as a display area for the potter's work and as a welcome space for visitors to the site. And this is a view of it from the front. And then moving through the central gallery out behind, you enter into the outdoor classroom and amphitheater space. And we see this amphitheater as serving as both a gathering space for villagers and as a space for larger cultural events, meetings with the chief, and things of that nature. So when you enter the site, you come in through the gallery, you enter into the amphitheater, and the amphitheater serves as sort of a nexus of activity on the site, and from it you sort of access other buildings around the factory. All right, and then from there, we're moving into the filter factory, which is located towards the southern end of the site. Our filter factory, our chief concern was to provide a safe, efficient, and comfortable workspace in which to make these ceramic filters. And as you see, we've lined up all of the machining, the processes requiring machines along the back wall in a linear fashion to provide ease of use. And then more group work, such as the soaking and the trimming and hand forming, will be located towards the front. And we did this in service of making it a comfortable space to work in so that there could be both individual and communal activities happening within it. Another concern of ours, and this is it off to the right here looking across the work terrace, another chief concern was the security of the actual machines, because there's actually a lot of crime in the region. It's designed so that the building is secure and the machines stay safe and dry.
So our design also includes a studio space for the women to continue the making of their traditional craft. So while we were there in South Africa, we met with the women and we spoke with them and we observed the way they work. And we noticed that a large part of the making of the process is sitting on the ground while they watch the clay and they mold the pots. So we wanted to give the studio space a large flexibility so that they could have seating area and tables, as well as shelving units for the display and storage of their pots, and also an ample space for them to keep working on the ground as they currently do. So we consider it very important to make this space easily accessible from the filter factory as well as the existing building so that they can use the terrace landscaping that we have designed as an outdoor working space where they can also sit on the ground on a nice day and keep the production of their traditional craft. So this is an image of how we envision this space happening as an open space that you could use those terraces as outdoor working space during the nice days. And then also we made it our aim to make the site as environmentally sustainable as possible. So the majority of the resources necessary to the production of the filters and the pots are already found on site. So the clay mine from which the clay is dug and transported towards the site is only a couple of meters south from the filter factory. And the design of our buildings, the filter factory, the studio, and the community center, all of them allowed for rooftop water collection during the rainy seasons to be stored in cisterns so that this water can be later used for the production of their filters and their traditional craft. Also, we thought it was very important to add a system of tree propagation of local hardwoods, fast-growing species, so that they can provide their own wood for firing the kilns, and that this system of tree propagation is easily sustained by the water collected through the rooftops.
So while environmental sustainability is crucial, economic and social sustainability are also really key to the effective implementation and longevity of our plan overall. So really the success of this whole project depends on the positive impacts and the benefits it brings to Mukondeni and the greater Hamashamba area. So we hope that this model, which incorporates educational opportunities, the local tradition, as well as economic development, can be slightly adjusted and replicated throughout South Africa to bring that constitutional right of clean water to people in other infrastructurally underserved regions of the nation. Thank you.